Welcome to the devotion for the 1st of April. And right off, I got to show you something that I just found that could be huge for us if we have to continue this social distancing act of ours for the foreseeable future. So check this out.
Today we are introducing a technology that will forever transform your ability to communicate and connect with your colleagues from across the country or from the other side of the world. Introducing the Prism Avatar. This revolutionary platform consists of a drone that is equipped with the most sophisticated sensor package that you can imagine, and most importantly, a holographic projector that displays the user's likeness in life size. With the Prism Avatar, users are essentially able to teleport into a remote location from their desktop or mobile device, as if they were there in person. With our Skype for Business integration, the controlling user simply selects the meeting room or the user they want to follow, and the Prism Avatar will take it from there. The built-in GPS and sensor array allow the Prism Avatar to navigate the office building with ease and safely avoid obstacles in its path. In follow mode, you can carry on a conversation in the hallway between meetings, just as if you're walking along next to your colleague. And in meeting mode, the Prism Avatar will automatically find a vacant chair in the room for you to sit, or take control of your meeting using the Prism application suite. Our geofencing technology allows the administrator to set boundaries within the office. And if the battery should ever get low, don't worry. A replacement avatar will appear and allow the original avatar to return to its base charging station. The Prism Avatar is also fully integrated with Synapse 2.0, allowing users to sit back and control the avatar with the power of their mind. And if that's not enough, users can even change the look of their avatar by selecting from wardrobe options in our Prism store. At Prism, we are committed to making technology great again for everyone around the world.
I wonder if you're thinking what I'm thinking. April Fools. Yep, that was a joke. Apparently on this day, back in 1700, English pranksters began popularizing the annual tradition of playing practical jokes on each other. But the day, also called All Fools' Day, has been celebrated for several centuries by different cultures, so the exact origins of April Fool's Day remain a mystery. I've played some pretty good April Fool's jokes on people over the years. It's been kind of quiet in that department lately, but this morning for chapel, shh, don't tell anybody if you haven't seen it yet, especially if you have kids at home that are going to watch it, but I pretended to spill milk on my laptop. Take a look. The word fool and all the other words that have fool in them, like foolish and foolishness and so on, appear 176 times in the Bible. And about 60% of those are in the two books of Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. Happens to be that those two books are part of what's called the wisdom tradition in the scriptures, so it's not a surprise that wisdom would be countered with foolishness. At any rate, there's too many verses in those two books from which to choose. So I'll go back to trusty old St. Paul again with some of his words from his first as well as his second letter to the Corinthians. For the message about the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and the discernment of the discerning I will thwart. Where is the one who is wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the debater of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? For since, in the wisdom of God, the world did not know God through wisdom, God decided through the foolishness of our proclamation to save those who believe. For Jews demand signs, and Greeks desire wisdom, but we proclaim Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. But to those who are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. For God's foolishness is wiser than human wisdom, and God's weakness is stronger than human strength. Consider your own call, brothers and sisters. Not many of you were wise by human standards, not many were powerful, not many were of noble birth. But God chose what is foolish in the world to shame the wise. God chose what is weak in the world to shame the strong. God chose what is low and despised in the world, things that are not, to reduce to nothing things that are, so that no one might boast in the presence of God. He is the source of your life in Christ Jesus, who became for us wisdom from God, and righteousness and sanctification and redemption, in order that, as it is written, let the one who boasts boast in the Lord. What I am saying, in regard to this boastful confidence, I am saying not with the Lord's authority, but as a fool. And that reminds me of a story.
It isn't only in Britain that spring this year has taken everyone by surprise. Here, in the Ticino, on the borders of Switzerland and Italy, the slopes overlooking Lake Lugano have already burst into flower, at least a fortnight earlier than usual. But what, you may ask, has the early and welcome arrival of bees and blossom to do with food? Well, it's simply that the past winter, one of the mildest in living memory, has had its effect in other ways as well. Most important of all, it's resulted in an exceptionally heavy spaghetti crop. The last 2 weeks of March are an anxious time for the spaghetti farmer. There's always the chance of a late frost, which, while not entirely ruining the crop, generally impairs the flavor and makes it difficult for him to obtain top prices in world markets. But now these dangers are over, and the spaghetti harvest goes forward. Spaghetti cultivation here in Switzerland is not, of course, carried out on anything like the tremendous scale of the Italian industry. Many of you, I'm sure, will have seen pictures of the vast spaghetti plantations in the Po Valley. For the Swiss, however, it tends to be more of a family affair. Another reason why this may be a bumper year lies in the virtual disappearance of the spaghetti weevil, the tiny creature whose depredations have caused much concern in the past. After picking, the spaghetti is laid out to dry in the warm alpine sun. Many people are often puzzled by the fact that spaghetti is produced at such uniform length, but this is the result of many years of patient endeavor by plant breeders who've succeeded in producing the perfect spaghetti. And now the harvest is marked by a traditional meal. Toasts to the new crop are drunk in these poccolinos, and then the waiters enter bearing the ceremonial dish, and it is, of course, spaghetti, picked earlier in the day, dried in the sun, and so brought fresh from garden to table at the very peak of condition. For those who love this dish, there's nothing like real homegrown spaghetti.
Okay, I'll admit that has absolutely nothing to do with 1st or 2nd Corinthians, but you got to admit that mockumentary has to be one of the best April Fool's pranks that any newsroom ever produced. But what St. Paul does point out is that when we are captured by God's reign, when we are citizens of God's kingdom, then we live in a way that looks foolish to the rest of the world. There's a great hymn in our Red Book, number 709. It is titled, "When Our Song Says Peace." And some of the lyrics are, when our song says peace and the world says war, we will sing despite the world. When our song says free and the world says bound, we will sing despite the world. When our song says home and the world says lost, we will sing despite the world. That is the style of those of us who are willing to wear the label Fools for Christ. And it's that kind of counterculture foolishness that I see expressed in one of my favorite songs. And today it's going to serve as both song and prayer together. It is by a young woman named Kendall Payne, and it is from her album Grown.
I will pray for you now, for you have been my faithful friend, while the road we walk is difficult indeed. I could not ask for more than what you've already been, only that you would say these prayers for me. May your heart break enough that compassion enters in. May your strength all be spent upon the weak. All the castles and crowns you build and place upon your head, may they all fall, come crashing down around your feet. May you find every step to be harder than the last, so your character grows greater each stride. May your company be of humble insignificance. May your weakness be your only source of pride. What you do unto others, may it all be done to you, and may you meet the one who made us and see him smile when life is through. Blessings be many, but not what you hoped they'd be. When you look upon the broken, may mercy show you what you could not see. May you never be sure of any plans you desire, but you learn to trust the plan he has for you. May your passions be tried and tested in the holy fire. May you fight with all your life for what is true. I have prayed for you now, all of my dear and faithful friends, but what I wish is more than I could ever speak. As the way wanders on, I long to see you once again. Until then, would you say these prayers for me? Oh, that you would pray for me.
Well, at the moment, there's not a lot of news to report. I'm looking forward to Palm Sunday together, like we've done the last couple of weeks. That invitation will go out following my next Pastor to People email, both of those on Friday. So if you don't see one or the other, or both, by, let's say, 9 o'clock Friday morning, send me an email. I'll make sure you get those. Plans for Holy Week and Easter morning will be included in that email. Also, office hour today from 11 to noon. Send any prayer requests or other needs to me via email. And until then, be safe, be well, and peace be with you.